Ladies and gentlemen, I am ZebBoykin, joined with Josh VanDerNoord for Outside the Overton. Today, we're going to look at Myron Gaines is kind of maybe shifting his position on what is an American, essentially. He's called himself an Sneeko guest in America. That is the question of the day. That is the question that's going to define the future. I brought this up to Myron at USC at one of the Uncensored America events. And so I think that maybe started this snowball effect of what we're seeing with him and Sneeko and who else? Gypsy Crusader, Myron, Bradley Martin. They went on Bradley. Sneeko went on Bradley Martin and kind of wanted to rail against Islam and saying something to the effect of the people getting $7,000 is getting the Myron like he wants the money or something. So that's what we're going to look at today. I'm ZebBoykin.
I'm Joshua VanDerNoord.
And this is Outside the Overton.
Not too shabby. Like the new intro. So yeah, that's what we're going to be getting into today. Total heads up. Well, sort of a heads up. In case you hadn't been able to tell, this segment is pre-recorded. I've got some unskippable cutscenes going on right now. And Zeb was happy enough to oblige me to do a little bit so that y'all got to see my pretty face today as well. You're going live after the pre-record is done? Is that the plan?
If I can get this video done, it's taking a lot longer than I wanted to. Internet was messing with me last night. I want to go live last night. I want to do a members live stream last night. Didn't happen, but we'll figure it out.
Hey, you get what you vote for. The Trump administration made promises, didn't keep any of them. Why should we be any different? You know, we're only following in the footsteps of greatness.
It is what it is. It is what it is. But we're gonna jump into this. All of this links to are in the description to anything if you want to buy some apparel, support us. Another way, also find us on Instagram, TikTok, Discord, everything else, X, and we are down there. And then also Josh's channel. Josh has a pre-record from like over a year and a half ago almost.
Yeah. I encourage you guys to go check it out. Go to, what's the ad? Is it at Josh VanDerNoord?
Joshua VanDerNoord.
At Joshua VanDerNoord. Go check out the new channel. Got my stuff there, got my show there. Going to be a lot of content to come soon. But yes, that, like I said, I'm out of town. So this Saturday show is pre-recorded. But it wasn't pre-recorded yesterday or the day before. It was pre-recorded from like August of 2024. And what it is it's actually very special. You should check it out because it is Zeb and myself's first appearance in any media together. This was back when I had my radio show on Saturdays. And at the time I was arguing with my boss on the main show I produce about Christian nationalism. Zeb would call in, back me up a little bit. So I called him in to invited him on my Saturday show so we could discuss it without dissent. And so that was, I listened back to a little bit of it.
Is it bad? Is it good or funny. Is it bad?
It was, it could have been better because like I remember that day being so tired because like I remember texting you being like, oh, I gotta do this today. And then you came in and you hadn't had Celsius either. So we were both a little low octane, as they say, but the content is good. Don't let it's good.
We've come a long way, chat, both of us. All right, so
definitely.
We're going to jump into this. This is Uncensored America at USC back in August, not even that long ago. And Kaiser posted the clip, cut me out, is what it is. Myron, last time you were here, you talked about immigration. You mentioned mass immigration a couple times here.
Yeah.
I have a question that I think probably defines the next decade, if not three. What is an American?
Interesting.
A little preface on the question. Obviously, I mean, I asked Charlie Kirk the same question. I think that's the question moving forward. I want to do a series on what is an American. I think defining that thing moving forward is what is going to define who is us and who is them, who is this movement. And even if somebody falls in the who is an American, that doesn't necessarily fall in the movement is still fine as long as they stay out of the way, right? So if they're in the way, then they are traitors to the cause. So going to define that a lot more in detail. I don't know if you can tell from this response from Myron. It was a little bit caught off guard, and I messaged him after I DM'd after, and I said I didn't mean to catch you off guard that much. Obviously, I'm trying to drive a narrative just like everybody else is, and so we're gonna kind of get into this. I think Myron, I'll parrot what Gypsy Crusader, we covered that the other day. I'll parrot what he said. Myron's a really good dude, like, and I owe him a lot. He brought me on, or he came on our show really early on. And from what it seems like, Gypsy Crusader is really nice on the back end, on the back end, behind the scenes too. Also, I mean, I've met a lot of these people, and you can tell very quickly who is like genuine and who's not genuine, who's putting on an actual act. I mean, obviously, I get a little bit more excited on camera than I do off camera, but that's just because, well, the people want the bread and circuses, Josh. But anyway, all that being said, I didn't intend on catching him off guard.
This is, imagine you're anyone talking to Zeb, and this is what Zeb looks like during conversation.
Got too much to do, dude.
But yeah, Myron, he's a really cool guy in person. He obviously, like, I met him during the fan meetup thing, so he had just done this, so he's talking with his people. He was busy, but like he's a good dude. I like him.
What is an American?
Interesting. That's a very broad topic. Well, I think an American.
And so this is the follow-up answer.
An American citizen or whatever. Well, I think an American is someone, well, if we're going to talk about someone like that's an American citizen or whatever, you need to have like a deep sense of patriotism. And I think one thing that we don't have in America right now, which really pisses me off, and it's very annoying, is people will carry an American passport but not like give a fuck about the American flag. And I'll give you guys an example of what I mean by this, where like we have this like ideology of like it's not cool to be a patriot. So I had a girl on my show the other day, and I asked her, what are you? And she's like, oh, I'm Dominican. I was like, oh, okay, all right, cool. So like, were you born there? Are you like a Dominican citizen? She was like, yeah. Or she said, no, I was born in America. I was like, oh, okay. Do you hold an American passport? Then she was like, yeah. I was like, so you're an American? She's like, no, I'm a Dominican. And you know, I sat there and I thought for a second. I was like, you know, a lot of people are fucking like this, where they carry an American passport, but they're not really American. They just come here, they fucking utilize our resources, they utilize our benefits, and they don't fucking, you know, contribute anything, or they send that money back to their shitty ass fucking country. And I think, yeah, exactly, right, with the chick from before. So I think an American is someone who has a deep love and care for their country, whether they serve in the military, they serve in the government, or whatever it may be. That's number one. And then also adhering to like American values, speaking the English language, respecting one another, understanding, you know, liberty, understanding the Constitution, you know, respecting the First Amendment, respecting the Second Amendment, right, the right to bear arms. I think all these things.
If you're listening to this, you can tell he's kind of thinking through his thoughts at the same time. He's trying to process it all at one time and get it out, much like I do on the show here. And you can see the wheels kind of turning as he's going through this, can't you, Josh?
Yeah, it's when a feisty little mystery meat black girl comes on and starts talking, you don't know, like he's got it. He's got his guns loaded. You know, he was clearly caught off guard a little bit by the question.
Make you an American. Then we can kind of go into like racial and stuff like that. But I think like from a fundamental mental standpoint, that's like number one. And I don't think we have enough patriotism and we don't have enough nationalism. Like people sit there and be like, oh, fascism is bad. Well, there's some aspects of fascism that is good. Like, for example, the extreme nationalism, right? I think we need to go back to being nationalists, like flying only the American flag, no fucking weird tranny flags, no weird rainbow flags. I think we need to be America only, no more Israel flags. Why the fuck are we flying foreign flags and flags of other people? Like, I don't even think we should be flying state flags if we're going to be honest. It should literally be just American flags.
I mean, I wouldn't agree with the state flags, but I would like to caveat off this, and this is a position I hold. If we're going to have an American flag, I don't think it should be altered in any way. I think it should be legal to alter the American flag. Does that make sense? I would, obviously, we don't want to marry it with the Israeli flag. We don't want to, I would say we don't even need to marry it with some of the military flags. And I would say, I don't think we need to have thin blue line flags. You can have your thin blue line, just don't marry it to the American flag. It's a perversion of the thing itself. Mm-hmm. And so in the same context, it's...
Any modifier, to quote Ben Shapiro, any modifier to a thing inherently devalues the thing.
Judeo-Christian. Mm-hmm. That's basically the point. It modifies the thing in itself. And so if you are going to modify the American flag, regardless of your intent, it is a modification of the thing itself, of the symbol. And the symbol in this case is the American flag, which would be America. And so I think at a minimum, pretty hefty fines.
Oh,
at a minimum.
And this is something I think we need to do.
And
is
obviously
I think
burning the flag.
We need to have like, you can debate this 5-10 year period where it's like the maximal sentence. You litter, you're losing a pinky. We need to get people
to establish the
afraid
law
again. Yes. Yeah. I'm not saying it's permanent. I'm not saying if you burn the American flag, we burn you. But like, we have gotten so far off the baseline. We've got to steer the ship back on course. It's not going to be permanent, but 10 years, 5-10 years minimum.
I like that idea.
Dictatorship.
The idea of when you introduce a new law, to get it burned into people's minds, just minimum, maximum. Minimum is maximum penalty. I like that idea. I like that. That's good. That's good stuff, Josh.
I try.
But yeah, I'm not opposed to state flags. Now, if we're flying something on the pole of the American flag, there's obviously laws against state flags being the same size. They have to be smaller. They have to be below. If you're flying things on flagpoles near the American flag, those have to be lower also. I mean, there's laws against that. They aren't enforced. The problem is they're not enforced. And then the question becomes, if a law is on the books and it's not enforced, Josh, is it even a law?
Exactly. Before you continue, though, I just want to say this. Speaking of state flags, the South Carolina flag.
Goated.
When I was a kid, I thought it was like a Muslim thing.
Because it had
because it had a palm tree and the crescent moon. And I told that story on the air at my current job. Didn't get a positive reaction from the South.
Really?
From the South Carolinians.
What they say?
South Carolinian boomer. They were like, "Oh, what it actually means is like, okay, like I'm goofing on you guys, you know? It's not like, it doesn't look like a
that's good.
It doesn't look like a European flag, like a European country's flag.
Crest.
It looks South American, you know, except for the color scheme. Like if you were to make the blue,
because it's got the palm trees.
If you were to make the blue green and the palm tree yellow, that would be like that would be like Venezuela or something.
Still
Argentina.
Still
not a bad flag though.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess when the Muslim
North
takeover
Carolina's
happens, because they're building compounds around here, they don't have to change the flag that much. Maybe they just adopt it entirely, since it's already got their crescent moon and everything.
Maybe.
Anything else?
What's the point of the crescent moon? I forget.
They say it's a beret, but or something to that effect. I don't know how they get there. I don't know how they get there, man.
Well, because with the palm tree. I get the palm tree. I know the history behind like the palmetto tree, how it's for armor and stuff like that. But with the beret over it, it looks like a palm tree.
It is. It's a crescent
with the moon
moon
in the background.
It's a crescent moon.
It's definitely a crescent moon.
It's a crescent moon.
So, you know, when people say all the time, oh, yeah, America first, I'm more of a America only. I don't think we should be giving foreign aid to anybody, really. It's damn near and definitely not foreign aid to the point where we're giving them weapons so they can kill other people in our name. That makes us look bad. And it fucks our ability up to, you know, run diplomacy. So I think when it comes to being an American, you know, you need to actually love your country. And it really bothers me that we have so many people here that are just fucking leeches. They don't contribute. They don't pay taxes. They're not proud to be an American. They're not proud to hold an American passport. They'll sit there and introduce themselves as like a Dominican from their shithole country. Like, you know, I've never had a Sudanese passport and I never will. You know, when people ask me, what are you? I say, look, background-wise, I'm Sudanese, but I'm America only, man. Like, I speak the English language. Yes, I know Arabic. I can speak it. But English is my first language. No, it's going to be the language I I die knowing, right? And I'm gonna be buried in America. So, and I'm gonna do everything to make this country better. That's why I do the things that I do, because I want to make this country better. And I think we need more people that do that. And that's what pisses me off about a lot of people is like they're not nationalists, and it's not cool. That's another reason why I hate liberals. They're not nationalists. They don't give a fuck about this country. They care more about like other people's feelings and more immigrants, and they don't give a shit. I think if we're going to go ahead and build a strong nation, we need strong people that care about the nation to make it a strong nation. No more fucking freeloaders, man. Like, that's what it is. And that's why I'm so against mass immigration, because most of these people come in, siphon value, don't give any value back, and then either go back to their country or don't even contribute. So we need people here that give a fuck about the country, that are patriots, and these are people that need to run the country. And hopefully we can get some politicians in that are America only, not fucking Israel first. So,
yeah, I mean, obviously a fairly solid answer. He mentioned nationalism or he mentioned nationhood and race a little bit earlier in the question and said we can tackle that later. And I think that's kind of what he was getting at. He didn't really mention religion in this context here, but he does in the Sneeko bit. Do you have anything before we jump to that, Josh?
No, I mean, I like what Myron says, but it's almost like it's kind of strange that it's coming from him and seems genuine. You know what I mean? Like, do you get what I'm saying? Where
well, he's not retarded like Sneeko.
Well, he's not retarded, but he's Sudanese. Yet he's paying a lot of lip service to like white nationalist rhetoric, but he's like he's like black and Arab looking. You know what I mean? And I get it. Like, we've talked about this before. I think I get where he's coming from, where he's anti-Israeli foreign involvement in this nation, and he does understand the reality that the shithole countries are shithole countries for a reason. He gets the reason, and he doesn't want America to be turned into that. So I think he's put his cards in the like, America needs to stay America. I'm going to ingratiate myself to the whites.
Myron is like, I mean, I would put him in a similar basket to someone like Clarence Thomas and Thomas Sowell. I mean,
he's not a race traitor.
They have to them he is.
To them, of course, but like, they don't know.
I mean, he's at the very, very
top
top echelon. I mean, there's a clear separation between him and
yeah,
Mr. Haitian over here.
He is one of the good ones,
right? Because we are guests here.
What does that mean? What guess?
We're guests.
And so he says we are guests here, and I like I said, I messaged him. I don't know if he's going to switch this up or not, but obviously he's thought about it, because now he's saying we're guests here. We know what he's saying when he says we, and then Sneeko's going to push back on him. My issue with the term guest in this context implies that there's an intent to go back, and that intent isn't there. And so I understand what he's saying, but if Sneeko wasn't retarded, he would push on that specifically, not what he does here.
What I'm saying is, as a guest, right? Because we are guests here. I think
what does that mean? Guess.
We're guests. This is not a Muslim country. This is not a Muslim country.
Oh, then you could make an argument that's a Jewish country if they control 98% of the politicians.
Oh my God, this guy,
dude. Dude, see, this is what I'm saying. So when Nick says you have the J pill, the low IQ J pill people, that is Sneeko. Everything is Jewish. Everything is Jewish power. And so the first thing he goes to when Myron says America's not a Muslim country, Sneeko goes, it's Jewish. It's Jewish. It's Jewish. It's exhausting, dude.
I mean, it's a freedom of religion country.
Yeah.
It's a secular country.
Okay, on paper?
What do you mean?
Dude, I mean, all right, I'm going to play it through this in here in a little bit, and we'll stop every once in a while. The freedom of religion thing is delusional also, dude. These people are ignorant of history, and they can only comprehend short, little, tiny phrases and not paragraphs at a minimum.
Well, and it's one of those things where we're at like you and I and John and Atlas and Myron are at a stage where it's like to explain to someone like Sneeko what that means, it's like it's not worth doing.
It's
If
not
you
worth
don't,
it, dude.
if you don't get it, moving on. But Myron's on a stream with him. What is he supposed to do?
Yeah, well,
you know?
yeah. I mean, you have to make content too, and Sneeko's obviously
course.
going to give good content because, well, people enjoy watching retards.
Or guest.
On-
I'm a citizen here. I'm not a guest.
Yeah.
Wait, no.
You're born here.
Hold on. I'm not a guest. I have a passport. I was born here.
Of course.
I have my birth
But what I'm
certificate.
saying is,
It's my
the
country.
Islamic faith, is of course it's your country. But what I'm saying is that the Islamic faith is not a part of the American infrastructure.
Neither is
It's
Christianity.
not. This country was founded by Christians.
But it's not part of the American doctrine.
the people that founded this country.
Pause it real quick. The way he like,
It's American doctrine. It's part of the American doctrine. It's like, dude.
look at that. Gotcha. Oh,
I mean,
that's a tough thing, man.
I feel for Myron, dude. I feel for
Yeah.
Myron. It's hard talking to idiots.
And he is trying his best.
Patience level,
To-
9,000.
because he's got this shit-eating like smirk on his face, and Myron is holding down the fort.
It's not, in the
Christians.
it's not in the doctrine. Just
The
because
separation of church and state was put in place so that either would not corrupt each other, but it's still a Christian country founded by Christian people, right? Because you can make the argument.
it's not a
You can make the
Christian
argument
doctrine.
like Syria wasn't a Muslim country, isn't a Muslim country because Bashar al-Assad was a secularist, or Saddam Hussein was a secularist. It's still a Muslim country majority, and they're going to play that van.
I'll say that. Yeah, it's a Christian majority country, but it's not a Christian country by definition.
I think this is a Christian country.
But there's no paperwork or any it's not in the
It was-
Constitution.
It was found. It's not a. Well, they have God in it.
Even when you pledge allegiance as an American, I grew up
And pledge allegiance saying about God. The God is mentioned in the
Do you
Pledge
say
of Allegiance.
Jesus? They
No, but
believe
you say God.
You don't say Jesus.
You say God. You don't have to say Jesus because
You don't say the Holy Spirit.
To them, God and Jesus are synonymous. Synonymous.
Yes and no. Actually, if you talk to a Christian,
It depends on who you talk to. Yes.
being honest, bro.
But they look
yes
at
and no.
they look at God and Jesus as the same. Like
Not if you talk to a Christian. God and Jesus aren't the same. If you talk to a Christian, it's like Sneeko. Christ, Ian, Christian.
It's kind of funny because, like, I remember when Sneeko and Myron and Andrew Tate kind of burst onto the scene, and they were all like coming out as Muslim because they're not in Sneeko's
They were
case,
getting
but they're
funded. They were getting funded by the Muslims.
all. Oh, really? Were they?
Yes,
okay, I didn't
dude.
know. Well, I was gonna say my assumption was they're smart enough to know that there is a God.
Well, Tate might
But-
not have been, but I know Sneeko was. Sneeko's collected Muslim money. Significant amounts of money.
Sneeko is
Yeah.
definitely, but I'm saying when he came out as Muslim, I don't know if the Muslim thing is completely a grift. I think they started supporting him because he converted to Islam. But the point being is I think they're smart enough to realize there is a God. So I'm just going to go with the one that allows me to have sex with multiple women because that's what I was already doing. But Sneeko delved into the whole like apologetics ring, and Tate and Myron just don't care. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is kind of what I figured. It's like they're really in Islam for like, in Myron's case, heritage, in Tate's case, sex. And but Sneeko like jumped head first, and it was like,
Because
okay,
he's retarded.
and
because he's retarded.
and case in point, he's going on with these like street Muslim apologists and getting dunked on.
Didn't he go to Mecca and kiss the rock or something, dude?
I don't know. I haven't paid attention to
Yeah,
Sneeko.
I mean, the son of God. So
he's also God's only begotten son. So they are separate
it
entities.
depends on who you look at, or who
If you
you're
read,
asking.
that's what it's. That's a different conversation.
Yeah.
But the reason that this is in God we trust is because it's the most universal statement.
Yes, but the point I'm trying to make is that regardless, this country was founded by Christians. They reserve the right to run the country however they want. And if they do want to play church, I take it a step further. If they want to play the church bells, I think they can because this is a Christian country. Just like in a Muslim country, if they want to play that Dan 10 times a day, you got to shut up and take it
Okay,
because
so
that's
if,
their
if
country.
it's a Christian country, then why do you?
This is a callback to the Mehdi Hassan that just came out the other day. And this is a couple days old. So when Mehdi Hassan was talking about we should be able to pray in the streets if they're allowed to have church bells, but the problem is I don't remember the last time I've heard church bells, Josh.
They got rid of them.
I think we need
The
to
Greek-
bring back the church bells.
The Greek Orthodox Church around here has them.
Do they?
Yeah, but I'm never there at the top of the hour.
Do not support Israel? Doesn't the Bible for evangelical Christians say God blesses those who bless the state of Israel?
Because we
by
know
that definition,
we know that evangelicals is cap. We
okay,
know that.
well, I mean,
We know that.
it was founded by Protestants.
Oh, keep this in mind. Keep that context in mind. What Snicko just said. Doesn't the Bible say? Doesn't the Bible say $7,000 if you say something good about Israel? Doesn't the Bible say? Keep that context in mind for this next clip.
Well, and I've never seen somebody like jump from topic, like talking point to talking point without bringing the one he was just at with him. Because if he did that, he would realize that everything he just said in the past like 2 seconds is completely contradictory. But he's jumping from top, like he can't keep more than one thought in his head.
Well, yeah, his context window is literally goldfish level.
Well, Haitian.
Christians. That's what Protestants believe. If you're following your logic that you want to be a patriot and a nationalist, then you should support Israel.
Actually, Protestants don't really fuck with what's his name? The Jews and Their Lies by who wrote the he was the head of he was the founder of Protestantism. Something Luther.
Martin Luther?
No, I think it was Martin Luther. Yeah, dude. Only evangelical Christians like observe Israel as like real. Everyone else, like all real niggas, Christians, like Catholics, Orthodox Christians.
What do Protestants think?
They don't fuck with Jews either.
They don't say God bless the state of Israel?
No, that's just evangelical retards.
Okay, so what?
And Schofield Bible reader niggas. But most Christians are.
Dude, Snicko catches a couple of grifters online, catches a couple of grifters in Congress and thinks, oh, all these people that have been put in this place believe the only thing that they can believe, the thing that they're being paid to believe. That's what's he can't take anything outside of the context of itself. And so all Protestants believe that, Josh.
There you
go. That aren't retarded, right? And remember, this is just American Christians. Christians all over the place if you look at Eastern Europe, they're all super anti-Semitic. They're real niggas.
Okay, so wait, so
Orthodox Christians are super anti-Semitic. Shout out to them.
Yeah, but like
they don't fuck with the Jews. Let me just say that because anti-Semitism is a fake word.
But it's your mentality approaching thinking that we're guests here.
Yeah, I think we're guests here. That is
Dude, Myron, we were born here.
No, the Islamic faith and the religion of Islam. You are a guest as a Muslim in the United States.
I'm not a guest in my home.
Bro, we are guests here.
What do you? We are
guests here.
We were born here.
Yes, but our religion, our religion.
So now your faith makes you a guest.
Yes, if you're gonna open, yes, to a degree, yes.
To a degree, or
yeah, because obviously everything is like nuanced, like nothing is absolute. But like the point I'm trying to make is that the Islamic faith, as this is not a Muslim country, so therefore, since
so what
this
about
is not a
Catholics?
Muslim country,
Are Catholics guests? Because it was founded by Protestants.
I would say they're closer to.
So they're still guests.
I would say they're because here's the thing.
Snicko's just on this bent of got him. Mm-hmm. He's got to get the one-liners in, dude.
Hanging out with Destiny too much.
We were talking about this on the show yesterday, talking about Protestants and Orthodoxy and Catholicism. I mean, Maryland was a Catholic state when it joined the Union. A lot of people want to say America started in 1776. Okay, sure, that's when our founding documents were written. But I think largely America was started. I mean, you can make the argument for when Columbus came, but I would say in 1607 when Virginia was established as a Commonwealth state, or as a Commonwealth. And so I would say that America didn't even exist prior to that. The land was here, but it wasn't America. America isn't just a slab of dirt. It's the thing that was built on the slab of dirt that you just can't move, and the people within it that built the thing. And so in that context, up until like 40, 50 years ago, Myron's absolutely correct. They are virtually guests here. And he's probably eventually going to have to bring in a racial aspect to that, a national aspect to that, a nationhood aspect to it. Mm-hmm. And so right now he's focusing on religion, which is fine, and I agree with him. Obviously Islam, one, doesn't belong here. I don't even know if I would classify that as guest. Invader.
Well, yeah, and the idea that like,
especially
Islam, like Muslims can just like be American. Even this idea that like what an American is something more than race and ethnicity. It's like a spiritual component to it. Okay, well, even if you take that definition, there's no way a Muslim can be a spiritual American.
Correct. You cannot be a Muslim. They are mutually exclusive. You cannot be a Muslim and an American. Yeah, because if you're an American, then Islam would disown you, and you wouldn't be Muslim. And if you were Muslim, then you don't agree with American founding, the ideology that would necessitate Americanism. Yeah, I like that.
But Catholicism,
No, yeah, I was just gonna say like the spiritual component. You know, like if you're a true Muslim, it's incompatible with spiritual Americanism, which it's more than that in of itself. But anyway,
right.
Christianity, all of it, it's all kind of one. I look at them all as the same. Like they all believe in Jesus. They all believe in Jesus.
They disagree with each other,
of course,
fundamentally.
But I would say
a lot of them say that each other are.
If they believe in Christ, they're a Christian to a degree. What denomination isn't really as relevant is if they believe in Jesus as their Lord and Savior, that makes them a Christian.
The Protestants criticize the Catholics for praying to Mary.
See, that's arguments within themselves. But in general, they're all Christians because.
Sneeko can't get over this idea that people can disagree and still work together and still hold each other to a similar team or the same team. Mm-hmm. That's why he is a Muslim. He needs he's too retarded to make his own decisions, so he needs someone to guide him. People like Sneeko need to be colonized. People like Sneeko need a king. They need to be dictated what to do and what to think because they obviously can't do it for themselves.
Because they all believe in.
Agree.
There's different.
Yeah, but by your
Muslims,
logic,
for example, right? There's Sunnis and there's Shia. But we don't look at them differently with our faith. Honestly, we really don't. They pray in the same mosque. They do some funny shit praying on rocks.
That's not all true.
But they pray in the same mosque in general.
Sometimes there's some Shia mosques, but
they can pray alongside.
By your logic,
they're not considered kuffars. They're not considered kafirs. They're just misguided.
By your logic,
another thing is this is kind of an IQ test too. Is bringing up things that don't matter. Not that. Contesting Myron on every single little thing that he takes issue with.
Yeah.
Is, this Muslim sect and this Muslim sect practice a little differently. Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Myron is bringing up how Muslims are not a monolith in the same way you're bringing up how Christians are not a monolith. Unless Sneeko is arguing that Muslims are a monolith, then there's no point in even arguing it.
It's the same thing that they were doing to you about a year ago when we were talking about what the video that you're going to post on your channel tomorrow. And I came around and we were talking about you were trying to pick up steam on Christian nationalism. It's the same thing that they were doing at your job, was that they would press you on every single little thing to not get exactly... They didn't want you to come to that conclusion. They didn't want to come to that conclusion themselves, and so they would pick apart every little piece, even though the thing is that it would fix is falling apart completely. But it's got one little flaw, Josh. Maybe it's got a flaw.
Maybe I posted it on Twitter or whatever, but I was going to say, it makes sense why the boomers are so afraid of the slippery slope, because they're so old and don't want to fall down.
Protestant Christians should be the non-guests in America if it was founded by Protestant Christians.
No, because they're all Christians. I look at them all as Christians. Denominations. This is literally why the whole separation of church and state was a thing, was to avoid that problem, fights between themselves. So they literally instructed that in place to deal with that very problem you're talking about, which is like the different sects in Christianity.
Okay.
That's why they separate. That's why the separation of church and state was instilled, was to keep Baptists, Protestants, Catholics, and all these other guys from fighting each other, because this is the problem that they had in England with the Catholic Church and everything else.
You believe we're guests in our own country,
I believe as Muslims, we are guests in America. Yes, because America is not a Muslim country like Saudi Arabia, like Egypt, like Sudan, like UAE, like Qatar. These are Muslim countries. When we go there, we respect and we don't say a word. When we were in Dubai, we had jalabiyas on. I spoke Arabic whenever I had a chance. Right? We assimilated. We respected that culture. Right? As even the first time before you reverted, we respected that culture because we understood we are guests there. I think Muslims need to exercise the same thing.
You can see the chat. It's just El Sneeko the whole time.
Yeah, I know, because we're literally visiting Dubai.
Yeah,
I was born here. Like, what do you? It doesn't.
Yeah, but the Islamic faith. We're American citizens, but the Islamic faith is not.
There's nothing. I mean, you're just making up America. Like,
we're 1% of the population. That in itself proves that this is not a Muslim country.
You can single out anybody and say that they're a minority to some extent. It's not. You don't need to describe somebody just by their faith. You could say that your skin color is, or where you're from, or.
But when we're talking about
people
faith,
have glasses.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Hindus, Jews, Muslims, we're all guests in America. Being honest, we all are. I'm not just saying this is as Muslims we're guests. I think.
What about minorities? Are minorities guests in America?
Like, what do you mean minorities? Like blacks and shit like that? Or
anybody not
Asians?
White? Anybody not white?
Yeah, I mean, I would say yeah.
We're also guests.
Yeah. White people built and founded this country, bro. We're all guests here.
Okay, so America is entitled to white Christians only. They're the only non-guests here. So you have to be
founders.
To be a true American, you need to be a white Christian.
I never said that. I never.
You said everyone else is not a guest.
We are Americans, but we are guests here because we did not found this country. We're Americans, but like we're not the, I guess, original Americans.
Okay, so what?
And this is the thing that I'm going to try and fix. Myron's trying to work through this in real time, and you can't, it's too complex to do that. I would agree with Myron that you don't necessarily need to be a white Christian to be American, but there is something to white, and there is something to Christian, and there is something to the patriotic ideology that makes one American in different ways. And so we're going to have to, it's too complex right now. I don't think as a whole, as a singular entity, American, I think, yes, white Christian is what it would take, though I might be a little loose on Christian. We're going to have to work through this, but yes.
Because you're kind of right, where I would agree with you where there's like a spectrum to it. Now, obviously, like white Christian Anglo-Saxons, they are like the founding stock of America and are true Americans. So I would say what makes you like the highest form of an American is this. If me and Sneeko went to Sudan, or me and Myron went to Sudan, would people from Sudan look at me and him, and which one would they think is an American?
If me and Sneeko went to Haiti, I would leave him there.
If me and Vivek went to India and they were like, which one of us is more American? Everyone from India would say me.
Yeah, I mean that's obviously the case. Obviously the case. Would anybody does anybody actually disagree with that, other than grifter points and shock value? I think the answer is no.
About Europeans, like people with second-generation Europeans who came here.
Well, I'm talking about like the people here that like their family's been here for generations, fought in the Revolutionary Wars, whatever.
Okay, so if I'm a white guy and my parents immigrated here after World War II, and I'm a white Christian, and my parents are from Germany, right?
And you came here after World War II.
Am I a guest?
I would say from framers' perspective, if you came like you were here in the 1700s, like if you have lineage back to like the colonial individuals.
What is that, like 5% of the country?
Probably not as much. Yeah.
No, it's probably closer to at least 30%.
Oh yeah, like
if not 50.
And that's the thing. He's probably saying 5% because he's thinking literally the founding fathers. There's no way that like he thinks the founding stock of America is only 5% of the country.
I don't know. He's pretty retarded.
You raise a good point.
I mean, that'd be a good number to know. I can't imagine it would be less than 20% though. Yeah, I can't imagine it would be less than 20%. I mean, it should be north of 90, but it's not.
Yeah, I mean, probably
so
not.
Everyone's a guest here.
A lot, yeah.
So whose country is it? It's just those 5% of people?
I would say it's America is a white majority Christian country, and we are guests here. Yeah, that's what I would say.
So
yeah.
so the only
That's what it is.
so 95% of people here are guests.
Yeah, dude. Nowadays, yeah, with the
95%
mass
of you.
immigration, yeah, you're right. Yeah,
95% of people
a
are
lot
here.
of them, yeah, a lot of them are guests.
Okay, so then
And this is why we have a lot of the problems we have, because we have all these people coming in, bringing their cultures.
Good on Myron. Good on Myron. We're gonna jump into this next clip. This is Bradley Martin with Sneeko. Like the day after, maybe 2 days after that clip posted. And like I mentioned earlier, keep in mind what Sneeko was saying specifically about the Zionism.
That's fair. Okay, so let's switch a little bit to the Islam stuff. I saw you have a debate with Myron about this, I guess, the sort of Christian nationalism and Islamic, beliefs or practices within America, and it being like,
Yeah.
you guys are. I found it pretty interesting. His perspective was pretty interesting.
Who do you agree with?
Yeah, because I guess I gotta. Well, you could preface it like.
I've only watched like the first little bit of this. I'm on your podcast. Who do you agree with? Who? Say me, and I'm gonna debate. I'm gonna debate you. I'm gonna get in debate mode. I'm gonna get into one-liner mode and try to catch you. I'm gonna got you.
Talk to me about like what the whole conversation was really about,
So
and
there's this narrative. Yeah.
why it came about. Because I've seen the shit on Twitter where it's like,
Is Bradley Martin Muslim? I don't watch him at all.
No, I don't. No, I don't
get
think so.
clips.
He had a good episode. Well, he had a good talk with Sam Hyde. The episode was kind of all over the place. And then he had Nick on not too long ago too, didn't he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think he cares.
Yeah. Okay.
So you know why I think it came about. I think Myron fell for. I love Myron. He's one of my best friends. Extremely loyal, extremely smart. I think that he fell for some of the 7K rage bait that started to pop up, and the $7,000. If they want to, redirect the anger, they're going to start blaming Muslims. That's always been the playbook. Radical Islamists, Al Qaeda, Taliban. Be scared, Iran, Iraq. And now people are like, okay, I can't believe that people are still falling for this, or maybe it's all fake engagement. But after the past 20 years, Gen Z, we grew up with this, TSA paranoia, being scared of Muslims. We thought Allahu Akbar was, a call for a bomb, but it's really just saying God is great.
yeah.
When you learn about what this is, you're like, wait, I thought you learn what Muslim is, and you're like, oh, that means submitting to God. This was years of programming. There was a kid in 5th grade.
He's saying that Sneeko is saying that Myron's been programmed specifically by the funding from Israel to influencers for 7K a post, 6 to 7K a post. Is Rich coming from Mr. 80 IQ? It's the same thing that Ted Cruz did the other day when he took the framing of Islam to apply Christians and Jews. Mm-hmm. This is the same thing Sneeko's doing. He's taking the position of Israel and applying Muslim and Christian or against each other. Did I say that right? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
To stoke fire. See, this is the problem. You don't have to take their framing to make the point. You can make the point in reality, but people like Sneeko and Ted Cruz, when they're trying to make a point and they can't do it on their own, they have to borrow from someone else to apply it because their worldview doesn't facilitate that.
He dressed up in a thobe, and we all
No. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
made terrorist jokes at him the whole day. That's what everyone's idea was. So I think Myron saw the recent brigade. We've all seen it. Everyone's starting. You see this word Islamist that they keep using? What does that mean, Islamist?
I don't know. I'm assuming it's someone that practices Islam.
So it's instead of saying Muslim, the people that are getting paid by Israel, the shills, they start saying Islamist because it sounds like terrorist. It's just like this word that they made. Yeah, that Islamist. It's like, what does that even like? I like peaceful Muslims. I have a problem with Islamists If you Google what it just means somebody who wants to spread Islam, which is all Muslim. Every religious person wants to spread the religion.
I like that. I don't mind peaceful Muslims. I just don't like Islamists. Josh, how many peaceful Muslims are there?
Peaceful?
Yeah. Like truly peaceful.
Oh, 0.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, they don't exist because for them to exist, they would not be Muslim.
And you know what's funny about this? What the logic reminds me of? You know why they say Islamist? Because it sounds like terrorist. And then Bradley goes, oh, IST. I could bring up, I don't have any examples on hand, but I could bring up like 500 examples of black logic where it's like, you ever see the one where the black guy is like, you'll see the African drum, that is the telephone. They take the African drum, the beats, and they convert it into Morse code. You see, and then like he goes, and that became the computer. It's all based on, they stole it. It's the African drum. Like these like giant leaps to get to this.
It's retard logic. It's Haiti logic. It's African logic.
Like they're just making it sound like the scary word. It sounds like Zionist, Islamist,
African logic. And you can make anything connect to something else.
Terrorist. So I think you saw some of that, and people are now, some of that outrage has been redirected towards people, the citizens of Dearborn. It's 100,000 people. It's like it's 90% Muslim, and the town.
The citizens of Dearborn. You mean the mini Muslim country in America? What do you mean the citizens of Dearborn? He's talking about language. We're talking about language and rhetoric on this show. The citizens of Dearborn.
What pops in your head when you say the citizens of Dearborn? You're thinking of a white man coming home to his family, cooking on the grill while Patty, his wife,
some good old
makes some lemonade,
some good old Michigander cookout. And it's just goats roasting on a fire, rolling over and over and over again after they had the sex.
Also agreed. They play the call to prayer. All right, it's loud,
seasoning,
but also
they don't season their goats.
Oh my god!
I don't see any outrage from the citizens there. Yeah, I don't see any of that. But people are like, they're invading America. Okay, what if Muslims are invading America? Then why are they 1% of the population? And
okay, let's be very clear, Sneeko. We want you all gone. Mexicans, blacks, Muslims, bye-bye. Okay? Why? Like what? He's like, why are we singling people out? I wish we weren't. Let's get you. You can. Hey,
we're not singling people out.
The boats are, the boats back home. We'll make them free. Don't worry. Bye-bye.
Every word. It sounds like Zionist, Islamist, terrorist. So I think you saw some of that, and people are now, but also I don't see any outrage from the citizens there. Yeah, I don't see any of that, but people are like, they're invading America. Okay, what if Muslims are invading America? Then why are they 1% of the population? And why does AIPAC control 98% of our politicians? Where's the Muslim invasion? And then they're like, they're blocking off Times Square to pray. And I'm like, Myron, I was there. Like Sonny was there. I was praying in the first line. I made a vlog there. There's a walking area. Not even the sidewalk, but there's just like this open area, and we set it up and we prayed, and the police didn't stop us. Nobody complained. It took like 10.
Oh, it's okay because, the police didn't do anything. They didn't do anything. That makes it okay. This is the problem, dude. They think they can get away with everything just because they have numbers. Well, they're a mob, dude. They have invaded. You don't hear anything from the citizens of Dearborn because the citizens of Dearborn have been kicked out and replaced by the people that want to be there.
Well, yeah, and it's like also this
20 minutes.
We basically have an environment and a system that allows this. There's no way for heritage New Yorkers to say, get these Muslim freaks out of Times Square without them getting attacked. So then they don't say anything out of fear for their own lives, out of their own prosperity. And then he goes, well, no one said anything. That's exactly the point.
No one did anything about it. The cops let us do it, so it's okay.
It was peaceful. Didn't bother anybody, but online you could be like,
didn't bother anybody. We're just lined up blocking the sidewalk. Didn't bother anybody. It's so exhausting, dude. Look at that face.
I was going to say, he looks like Aleister Crowley or something.
Look at them. They're taking over New York City. And it's like, no, this is just like a
Zohran Mamdani is about to win the mayoral election of New York City by a freaking landslide because half of New York doesn't even speak English. What do you mean you're taking over New York City? They are. You're about to have an Islamist mayor. What do you mean they're not taking over New York City? How else would you define takeover, Josh? Like, how else would you define that?
Well, if every street corner in every borough of New York City had a Muslim call to prayer going on all at once, and then one white guy said, "Can y'all get out of my way?" Then he might say maybe they took over.
Genuine question. How else would you define it if not by a majority non-English speaking population and holding the highest office in that space? I don't know how else you define takeover.
prayer for a bit. People do, you remember those dances in 2011 where everybody would freeze and stop? What do you call those? I forgot the name of that. That used to take up all Times Square.
Mannequin challenge.
You know, mannequin. I don't think it was called something else before. But I mean, there's, you know, Dominican Day parades. There's gay pride parades that take up the entire Fifth Avenue, that block traffic. When we prayed during Ramadan,
we don't want the gays either, dude.
I'm imagining people doing the Harlem Shake for like the past 1,500 years. You know, like, okay, yeah, Muslim call to prayer and the Harlem Shake. Same thing, Sneeko. The Muslim ice bucket challenge.
Except you get
Remember,
except you don't dump it on your head. You get to freeze your body in it.
American trends is we pour ice on our head to try and find a cure for ALS. Muslim trends are flying planes into buildings and carrying bombs into the subway.
Josh, they didn't fly the planes into the building. Well, don't put that on them.
Yeah, we know.
We know.
But there's a reason they wouldn't have
not done it.
blame you for it.
They wouldn't have not done it if they could have.
Yeah.
That's the difference. They couldn't have. That's the difference.
They committed a crime to frame you, so they did a crime that people would believe you would do. If they were trying to get us to go to war with India, they would have done a mass scam or something like that.
Mass scam. Yeah.
during this most important month in Times Square, like that's just like a holiday celebration for one day. And we didn't need the cops. We weren't blocking anybody. And also, what else are you blocking in Times Square?
It's just one day. It's just one day. It's just gay marriage. It's just a massive pride parade. I mean, he's making the point entirely contradictory to what he was saying, right? He's saying, oh, there's gay pride parades up and down Fifth Avenue. And it's like, well, where did that start? Just leave me alone in my bedroom. Okay, it's just gay marriage. Okay, we want Fifth Avenue. This is what Sneeko's doing. Oh, it's just a couple of people on the sidewalk. Give it 3 years. You have Zohran Mamdani president, and you have a bunch of Browns praying in the middle of Fifth Avenue. The slippery slope is not a fallacy.
We tolerated the seed, and it grew into a massive problem. So what you're seeing now is people saying, we've got this huge problem growing. We want to rip it out at the seed level, which what is that? Freedom of religion.
Advertisements, Elmo, what's happening in Times Square? Like, and also it's like, you know what else is disrupting in Times Square? All the street performers, they jump around and a crowd forms, right? People doing the flips, showtime, showtime. That's how much space we took. So it's like, this is not people taking over America. And Myron's like, oh.
If you've ever been in New York or DC or Philadelphia or some of these large places that have massive tourist operations, they are disruptive. They are very disruptive to the flow of traffic. They are disruptive. Sneeko's saying they're not disruptive and acting as if it's just some feature of the city. No, it's a bug, and these people need to be removed from the cities. They're just homeless people that dance, essentially. Not that they're homeless. They probably make good money. But in the context of being in the way, begging for money on the sidewalk, I'm not entirely opposed to busking. But when you have 8 dudes doing backflips on the sidewalk of New York and DC, it becomes a problem when you're trying to get from A to B.
I want to invest in cloning Daniel Penny. I want a Daniel Penny on every street corner, every subway car.
You know how they make the plastic owls and you set them out and the birds just run away from them? We just need to get like a shit ton of Daniel Penny posters. Daniel Penny posters and post them inside the subway.
Like instead of Uncle Sam, I want you to join the army, it's like, I'm watching you.
just a bunch of Daniel Penny like vinyl stickers, life-size Daniel Penny stickers in the subway. Let's go.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, I know what you guys are doing. You're asserting dominance. Praying is asserting dominance. Isn't that the most submissive thing you can do? Putting your head to the floor and saying God is great. This is like
He sounds like one of the girls that he debates on Fresh and Fit.
He's gaslighting.
Yeah.
He's gaslighting. I think he might just be that retarded to be honest with you.
How
does Sneeko get his start? We talked about this the other day.
There's a fog in his mind, and as he's speaking, he's just like clawing from one wall to another. There's no like true sense of the ideas, if that makes sense. How much of more of this did you want to cover? Because it's 2:00. I gotta get going.
Let's take a look.
it's humbling, and then people get to see what you're all about. And you know what was great about that public display is not only one, could we not fit in a mosque because there was too many, and it was like an all-American New Yorkers coming to pray. But people get to see like, oh wait, Muslims are, this is peaceful praying, but what are you guys doing? And then they ask, and then they learn something that they didn't know. Especially after all the years of propaganda, it's an opportunity for them to see what we're really about. And so for them, for people to start saying that this is disrupting and destroying New York City is just completely disingenuous.
Yeah, I get it. I think it's more related. I feel like New York specifically, this whole conversation is sort of surrounding the Zohani guy, the Mandani guy, Zohan Mandani.
Zohan, yeah. He's not a good representation of Muslims.
Right. But I think that's why.
What did you? Whoa.
He said he's not a representation of Muslims. See, Sneeko understands what taqiyya is. And they are...
Whole conversation is sort of surrounding the Zohani guy. The Mandani guy, Zohan Mandani.
Zohan, yeah. Yeah, he's not a good representation of Muslims.
Right. But I think that's why this conversation is...
He's a great representation of Muslims when he's not hiding his Muslimism, Josh.
Yeah,
we played those clips the other day.
I genuinely wonder what about Zoran Sneeko doesn't like.
He doesn't like his he's not pushing his Islam on people. That's because he's switched up for the candidacy.
Sneeko is conservative. Sneeko is not liberal, and Zoran is. Do you think that's what it is?
He's speaking on specifically this clip from the other day. Well, I'm speaking on the clip from the other day. Sneeko doesn't know how Muslim
Taqiyya
Zohar Mamdani is. This clip being one of them.
This is the school teacher with
disillusion, and it's partially a result of settler colonialism that all of us can become New Yorkers, that all of us can settle into the city. And yet there would be these moments where I would be reminded by someone whose intent was to tell me that you do not belong. And one of those first moments was on 9/11, when
this clip, and then this clip right here.
To remake, we came here to remake this state in the image of our people. We came here.
See, if Sneeko knew this Zohar Mamdani, if Sneeko understood this Zohar Mamdani, he would have a completely different take than saying he's not representative of Muslims. Why? Because what Sneeko sees now is Zoram's candidacy. That's what Sneeko sees, and he's gauging his Muslimism off of. If Sneeko saw these, then Sneeko would say, yes, he is a representative of Muslims. But he's not.
Sort of like ramping up. I mean, not over.
Or he might not say that, and he might dismiss it because that's what they all do.
Oh, but specifically, we're talking about New York.
That's part of it. That's part of it.
the-
He just denounced Hassan Piker. He just said that Hassan was reprehensible for saying America deserved 9/11. He's like completely separated from him. And also in that debate yesterday, Mamdani says he wants to decriminalize prostitution. And, some of the stuff he says is absolutely ridiculous. And he's also really starting to dial back his anti-Zionist position.
Yeah. And I try to understand Myron's point, because his idea, the thing that I can't get behind is, I was watching the debate, and every time he would reference, if we went to another country, we couldn't do this over there. Like you couldn't practice, Christianity. Well, I don't think it's not only, I don't know, to be honest, how
it's not
true
true.
it is.
There's more Christians in Saudi Arabia than Muslims in America. Like there's the ratio.
I get it, but hold on, that's not even the point.
Lebanon.
The point I wanted to make was not even that. That's not the point is like, but that's not America. Like that's not what, like they were not found. They did not found America there. That is literally a Muslim country. Like they announced they are a Muslim country, right? So I don't understand how we're making references to a Muslim country.
These people are retards. They can't cross concepts. They can't extract a singular concept and apply it to another. It's like that's just the nature. That's the nature. That's general revelation. That's how nationhood in countries work. It's like, is it that hard, Josh? Is it that hard not to be retarded? Maybe so. Maybe for some people. Bradley Martin, have me on your show. Maybe we can sort this thing out. Sneeko, you can come with me. I'll buy your plane ticket. Just might not end up where you think it is. It might end up in Sand Cookie Land.
I hear hell's nice this time of year.
Sneeko, we are going to, matter of fact, congratulations. You're my best employee. I promoted you to Mud Cookie Manager. You ever seen that meme?
Yeah. Last year.
That's what Sneeko. Sneeko gets Mud Cookie Manager.
I'll make you promoted. You ready to call it?
Yeah, we'll go ahead and close it out.
If you want to finish, you can...
That's Sneeko, Myron, making progress on Myron. He's getting somewhere, getting close. Hopefully we can kind of guide that conversation whenever I get around to doing those videos. What else? Go check out Josh's channel, link in the description, for I defend Alexander Hamilton against a Jeffersonian mindset.
We talk about
I've actually lightened up a
nationalism.
lot on Jefferson since then. So I'm still correct, but take the Jefferson bashing a little lightly. It was a little bit personal is what it was.
Yeah, it's not real. Sorry, Tom. It's not really about Tom. It's about the bastardization of Tom's legacy.
It's about the conflating of the founding fathers. Yes. They all had different mindsets. They all had different ideologies. They didn't all agree. When we say the founding fathers, it's a group of individuals. It's not one unified front. This is kind of what I'm getting after with the NAV thing, is that we don't all agree with each other, right? That's what we're trying to get to. I think we're trying to do something similar to what the founders did. I mean, we don't have that backing that we need yet. I think we'll get it eventually. But that's what I'm trying to do, is we don't all agree. I mean, me and Josh disagree on the show almost daily. So to have one massive circle jerk of like 50-something dudes signing the Declaration of Independence, it's like, that didn't happen. It just didn't happen. And so when we say the founding fathers, we need to be very specific if we're being specific on a certain topic.
What it is it's a group of men that all want to achieve the same end. We have the same goal in mind, but we differ on how to get there. However, we see the value in each other's points of view, because we know that the other person is trying to get to the same place.
We know that we're all good faith and we're all after truth. I think that's kind of what the call-ins were about yesterday. We can disagree on the religion. We can disagree, well, to an extent. Obviously, we're not going full Sneeko out here. But we need to agree on where, at least at a minimum, the direction that America needs to go. And I think most of us do agree on that. And so we can kind of work the minutia from there. And we have a lot to build off of. Like I said, I mean, we have the founders. We have even prior to that and everything since then. We have America is an experiment. And we are dealing with modern issues that the founders didn't have to face, that Rome didn't have to face, that Germany didn't have to face. I mean, these are very unique issues to America on top of those same issues that they did face also. So moving forward, it's going to take a lot of learning. It's going to take a lot of reading and working through all of that to do something the right way to where it is established for a much longer period of time. We're 250 years. I think it's crumbling, Josh. And so
we got to do something.
Check us out on the Nav channel. That'll be Sunday at 4:00. Also, y'all doing
Goiper Report on the Nav channel as well, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Saturday, Eastern Standard Time. Eastern Standard, we say that, but it means normal time, like the real time.
Not gay time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When God says
American time.
When God says noon, he's referring to EST.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, that's Myron, that's Sneeko, that's positioning that they're taking, and we'll update it as it goes. Obviously, these are going to change. You can tell they're both kind of working through this thing. Sneeko much less so because, well, there's not much going on. But this is Outside the Overton. I am ZebBoykin.
I'm Joshua VanDerNoord.
Thank y'all for tuning in for the premiere, and I will see you either Sunday or Monday on this channel. Oh, actually,
you're not going to be there Sunday?
Well, if they don't tune into Sunday to the Nav
Oh,
channel, then they're gay.
They're going to. You're going to.
And
we have all your names.
And I'm trying to get this Charlie Kirk video out. It is what it is. Maybe one day, and then I'll do probably a 5-hour live Q&A after that. Fun. What's that song? Daddy gonna keep her away.